Bro, what in the world is this? I gotta react to this.
I've been growing my hands for more than 300 days now, and in this video I will show you the results it gave me, whether it's hand gains, forearm gains, and even wrist gains. And of course, we'll see if I got
This dude hands look like Incredible Hulk, bro. Look at the size of that one, bro.
better at arm wrestling, which was the whole reason why I started this routine. So I always had a thin bone structure, especially the wrist and hands, but I never realized how weak they were until I started.
Bro, look at this size! Like, dog! Look at that! Is one arm bigger than the other over here? Now, this one's, they're both the same size. But look at this arm looks a little bit bigger than that. So I guess he's right-handed, of course. Look at, he's holding his hand. That is crazy, dude. That is crazy work. Like, look at that. I wouldn't get that big, though. I ain't gonna lie. Like, I don't care if you try to get in competitive arm wrestling. That is too huge, bro. Like, what if you try and escape from a dog and you try and jump a fence or something? Like, bro, you ain't jumping that fence, bro, with that much weight that you got, bro. You gonna fold the fence in, bro. Straight up. Let me stop. Just keep going. We only 15 seconds in. God damn it.
Realized how weak they were until I started arm wrestling and kept getting destroyed. I then decided to go on a journey to grow them figure, and I gotta say that I'm impressed.
I do need to take some of these though.
Results. My hands have grown significantly just by doing those two exercises, which are pronation and rising. And if you're wondering how this works, it's pretty simple. Those two are forearm exercises, but yet I found that holding the belt tight for a high amount of reps will really engage the thumb and put it through a lot of work, thus leading to hand gains. If you have a judo belt in a weight that you can tie to it, you are able to do this exercise. Concerning sets and reps, I started by doing a lot of volume and did 5 sets of 60 reps for each exercises. And as for the weight, I've always used 10 kilos and never really changed. Sometimes I did heavier sets with 20 to 30 kilos, but most of the time I used 10. I did this every day for a long time without missing a single session, and I started noticing gains pretty quickly. On day 1, I was surprised at how thick they had gotten just after a few sets, but I found out that they just got inflated because they weren't used to this new training method I was doing and to the stress that was applied on the whole thumb area. They got back to normal after a day or so, but as I kept doing it, I noticed a new detail on my hands. My thumb muscle was starting to stick out more and more, and a callus was starting to form, which got huge at some point. My pronator was also getting big with all the pronation sets I was doing, and on day 100, my thumb muscles had gotten really big, and this is where the gains are getting crazy.
Bro, that is crazy. That is no way your hand's getting that big.
Out of nowhere, my thumbs had developed huge shreds and forming veins on them. The pumps were getting so bad I couldn't connect them to my pinky fingers anymore, and even had a hard time using my phone. This is also around the time where people started saying I was using steroids and growth hormones. As I kept going, the thumb muscle only got bigger and started impressing people in real life, as much as on social medias. I even made good friends along the way that recognized me from my videos and came up to me to talk. The thumb itself appeared to have also grown a lot, and I noticed it because back then when I bought this ring, I could put it on all of my fingers easily, even the thumbs, and now it would be impossible to even try. Another muscle that has grown a lot is the one between the thumb and index, and more than that, as I mentioned earlier, a huge callus was forming before the 100 days mark. It looked like my skin had calcified and this area of my hand had—
Bro, I need to put some lotion on that, bro. Seriously. Try some Gold Bond. Some almond, not almond milk, some almond lotion, something, you know, some coconut lotion, something, bro. You can't. You don't got good friends, bro. They didn't tell you to put lotion on your hands when they saw that your hands were looking like that, bro. You gotta get that checked out.
Had gotten so hard, to the point I wouldn't even feel something touching me there. The downside to it is that it was looking disgusting and would sometimes crack open and bleed, which was super painful. I kept it for a long time as I wanted to see how big it was gonna get, but got rid of it at some point by applying cream.
Why would you keep it like that, though?
On it, because it was getting gross.
I mean, calluses, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, he's having calluses so he can have a stronger grip, but bro, that...
Alright, now that we've covered the hand gains, we can talk about...
The only one I say looks like... I would say normal is probably these two. That is just overkill. This one right here is overkill, bro. I would hate to get punched by this dude. Seriously. Like, you ain't waking up, bro. You're not waking up. You get smacked by this dude, you going to heaven. Somewhere. You going to the afterlife. it's lights out for you, bro.
How effective this was for my forearms and if they got any bigger with this. So I started as a pretty skinny guy, and back then my forearms had a lot of definition but not much muscle mass, and only a few days in I was noticing the brachyradialis muscle starting to appear and get slightly bigger day by day. And I think I can attribute most of the brachyradialis gains to the rising specifically, as it directly targets it. Of course the pronation also played a role in it, as the biceps and brachyradialis are under constant stress while doing those exercises. No, I wouldn't say that most of my forearm gains come from doing those two exercises, as I've been doing.
It looks like a bone sticking out his arm on that. Look at this is not normal. Y'all think this is normal? Bro, this is not normal, man. You gotta get that checked out, bro. I think that is a bone sticking out.
I can say that most of my forearm gains come from doing those two exercises, as I've been doing this routine primarily for hand growth. But what it did is that it gave me a very good pronator muscle that...
Okay, this kinda look hard though. This kinda look hard. I ain't gonna lie. This form right here kinda look hard. Hey, just stay right there. Don't get no more bigger than that, bro.
Translate well to the arm wrestling table, which we will touch on in a few minutes. Concerning my forearm size, when I started this routine on the left, they were about less than 34 centimeters pumped. My weight was about 70 kilos at the time, and I had managed to get to almost 90 kilos, but unfortunately I had some issues with my bulk in the middle of it, and it made me go back to 80 kilos. And of course, losing 10 kilos really impaired my gains and made me lose a lot of muscle mass. I was at about 41 centimeters without pump at some point, but I am now at 40 as I lost this much weight. Alright, so we're getting into the juicy part of this video. When I started this routine, my wrists were 16.5 centimeters, and after 300 days they measured in at almost 19 centimeters, meaning that they grew 2.5 centimeters each, which is a whole inch. So you see, I keep track of my wrist gains with this watch that I received for my 15th birthday, I believe. As you can see, I was completely floating in it, and let's say I ran into a little problem. I literally am not able to get the watch past my hands anymore. They have gotten so big that I physically cannot wear it further than that. I actually managed to put it on with a bit of soap, but that's when I ran into another problem. I cannot close it anymore without it pinching my skin, and even if I manage to do it, it will obviously be painful and uncomfortable, and I wouldn't be able to move my hands freely. I also tried with my right hand and wrist, which are smaller. As I said, my left is almost 19, but the right is 18.5, and even my smaller wrist has become too big to wear it. So, in the last comparison video I've made,
that is crazy, bro. I would say at least he got it balanced, right? Because there's some people who only did one arm and it looked like they did something else. Like they only use one arm, bro. The other arm is small. It's like shriveled up or small like this. And the other arm is like this big, bro. Looking like from like that Left 4 Dead 2 character. You know what I'm saying? You seen the Charger from Left 4 Dead 2. That's how they be looking like, bro. Be big, but a small arm looking like a T-Rex on the other side, bro.
I stated that in 200 days they gained 1.5 centimeters each, and after another 100 days of training, they gained 1 more centimeter. But by doing some research for this video, I found an old comment of mine saying that they were 16 centimeters at the start, meaning that I might have gained even more than 2.5 centimeters on my wrists, which is insane. I was already having a hard time to put my watch on. It was feeling tight, but I think I was able to wear it without too much problem still. But no, I don't think I would be able to, unfortunately.
Bro, a watch that was made to where it could fit like a couple of sizes, and he can't even fit that.
You saw that my wrists have grown much bigger than before, but not only that, they also...
This looks good though. Like this size right here, let me move the camera over so y'all can see. Like this looks good. You know what I'm saying? Like I think anything more than that is just crazy. To be honest, bro.
Became much stronger. Back then I was having intense, almost unbearable wrist pain during or after my arm wrestling matches because of how weak they were, but not only that, if I did too much pronation and rising, it would start getting painful in my joints. I also made the mistake to go too heavy around the time I started, and the days after, my wrists were completely destroyed. I was also unable to do full range of motion with my pronation set, but I am now able to go much heavier on my lifts, do full range of motion without any problems, and they don't hurt anymore even after 3 to 5 hours intense arm wrestling sessions. I think it all comes down to conditioning. Even when I was doing wrist flexions back then, they felt like they were about to crumble, but I ignored the pain for a few sessions, and over time they adapted and became strong. I still don't use a huge range of motion during my pronation lifts, as I don't think I need it for the way I pull on the table. What I do instead is giving it slight impulses while pronating. It's working wonders for my pronation strength.
Well, I didn't know his eating sessions is. Like, I want to see your eating sessions, bro. I gotta see that because that looks crazy, bro. The amount of weight he got on, bro. Like, how much he weighs? I'm guessing he's probably like, I don't know. He looks tall too. Like, he at least looks like about 6'2", 6 foot. You know what I'm saying? So I'm guessing that he weighs like a bunch, bro. I can't give you a number, maybe 230, 2 220, 230, maybe. You know what I'm saying? He looked like he about that size.
Of course, doing this every day made me discover the best ways to engage the thumbs. So, the best way to do the pronation one is to do a thumb flexion every time you drive up. It will pump the thumb so bad with such a small change, it is incredible. And as for the rising, pinching the belt hard with your thumb will also engage it much more. You can either do that with a judo belt, like I've been doing for months, or with any kind of band if you don't have a belt or don't want to buy one. And I'll even admit that I prefer doing it with a band, as you can go through a much bigger range of motion without causing friction against your skin, like a judo belt would do. And if the band is small enough, you can even alternate positions and see what feels best for you. I of course still use the belt every day as it has its benefits, like allowing to go heavier and toughening the skin near the thumb, which can over time create a huge callus. He will
Alright, I'm gonna leave his video at the end of the description, man. If you want to check the rest of it out. That's just crazy. I just saw it pop up in the feed and I was like, yo, I gotta check this out. So but that's crazy though. Shout out to you doing what you enjoy doing. And just don't get too don't get too big. That's all I was saying. Don't get too big, bro.